I'm trying to get in the mood. Yum, 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 hum. Get in the mood to stream. Bring the energy. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh boy, what's going on? What's going on, everyone? It's another wonderful day. Another wonderful day. It's always another wonderful day. Every time you wake up, it's a wonderful day. Every time you take in air in your lungs, it's a wonderful day. Every time your heart beats and it doesn't stop, it's a wonderful day. Every time you have something to eat, it's a wonderful day. Every time you go to the bathroom, it's a wonderful day, right? What else? What else is a wonderful day? Um, a day without cancer is a wonderful day. And it's crazy. A colleague of mine literally just missed so much time in the office um, because because of cancer. Um, and they missed so much time because they had to have operations. Um, and it's crazy because not to throw shade, but this person hasn't changed their lifestyle at all, right? And it's like you would hope that people would do those things, like when they get scares and something like that happens, something serious like that happens. But you know, it is what it is, and it's probably and here's the thing: the way I teach my students, uh, when I'm going over important topics, is you can take any chronic disease, right? You can take obesity, high blood pressure, diabetes, um, heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer's, uh, kidney disease. There's so many, right? High cholesterol, dyslipidemia, right? You can take any of these chronic diseases, right? And then you can literally make the statement and say, well, if you really understood the mechanism, or if you really understood the process, if you really understood the seriousness of the situation, most likely you would not be dealing with that situation, right? If you really understood it. For example, um, what's a good example? People eat every day because they do understand that if they don't eat, but then they don't necessarily understand the mechanism. But the point is, if you understood the mechanism, you probably wouldn't suffer from the condition, right? Um, so this goes with basically everything, including what we're going to talk about today, which is why I wanted to make this video to kind of break this down. I think I kind of touched on it before, but really wanted to make this video just so so I can say that I told you. So I can say I told you, but really, so people can understand the mechanism behind cancer, right? But anyway, as introductions go, what's up, y'all? What's going on? Kanishi, almost said something I'm not supposed to say. Um, but you can say Konnichiwa, but um, bonjour, right? Hola. I don't know if I got any other languages. But anyway, hello, hello. Charles Austin here, the cancer preventer, right? And I started calling myself the cancer preventer because there's many ways to prevent cancer. Um, and you can find them all on this channel. Okay? And this is the channel where we're going to give you the truth, the real, the 100 about everything that's associated with cancer and chronic disease, um, nutrition, a human diet, wellness. That's what we do here. Okay? But today I want to do a little bit, so again, what's up, everyone? Charles Austin here, the cancer preventer. Coming to you live on another wonderful, thriving Thursday here on YouTube, in the YouTube space, on social media, We're here on Thriving Thursday. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and X at Fitness Charles. Subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video, comment on this video, ask questions about this video, and then share it, and then reshare it, and then like it, and then re-like it again. So again, another wonderful Thriving Thursday. We're going to talk a little bit about how cancer kills. Something that I don't think many people talk about. Okay, you know it kills, but you're not sure exactly how, probably. Believe it, So I put this wonderful image up here. So we're gonna go ahead and get in. Like I said, I like to keep these brief, try to jump in and jump out. But I found this wonderfully animated image, right? And what we're illustrating here is, like, if you look, around all the blue areas, right? Wherever it's blue, all the blue, the light colors, that's like your normal body tissue, okay? That's how it's supposed to look. But then as you see, all these red spots and these branches of red, that's the cancer. And as you can see, some of the cancer cells are larger, they're larger than others, and they're continuing to grow. And this is a wonderful image to illustrate how cancer kills. And I'm gonna come back to it a couple of times, but without giving up too much, just keep this image in mind when you watch this video. Keep this image in mind and just realize, just notice how some parts of the image, are healthy and normal, where there's no cancer, but some of them have more cancer than others. So again, the video is titled "How Cancer Kills," and that's what we're going to talk about real briefly, right? So, like, this is the thing about human wellness and health and chronic disease, cancer, all these different things, right? This is the thing about it that is so baffling to me. And it's baffling because these things, like, look, all you have to do, and here's the thing, you got to make sure you trust, you get good sources. You can't just click anything. You can't go to Wikipedia and be like, Wikipedia said, you do have to trust your sources. It's not as simple as I may make it seem at times. But it really is simple to type a search into a search engine, right? And do a little scrolling, find credible scientific research, and it doesn't take long. It's 2025. We have so much information collected on the internet now. It doesn't take long to find this stuff, right? So I found this wonderful summary, and I said, man, I'm just going to use this. And the most important thing, the most important takeaway behind how cancer kills you is the uncontrolled cellular growth, right? So normally, and I've covered this a couple of times, but normally your cells are supposed to, split, divide, and when they get old and they get worn out, right? They die. You flush them down the toilet when you poop, okay? That's what's supposed to happen to the cells in your body. They do their job, and they know they're not going to live forever, right? Just like nothing lives forever, right? So they do their job, and when you get done with them, you flush them down the toilet. But cancer is kind of like something that says, hey, as it says here, it disrupts the body's normal process. The normal process we're talking about here is the cells dying in your body and going down the toilet, right? So cancer, these cells, the cells that are supposed to die, when they start turning cancerous, they grow, and they grow, and they grow, right? Where's that picture again? All right. So as you can see, these are the cells that would normally die and get flushed. But who knows if those cancerous tentacles get into them, now they may change the signals that they have, and they may start getting big like these other cancer cells that you can see right here. So again, cancer begins when cells grow uncontrollably due to genetic mutations. Now, what I want you to realize is don't associate genetic mutations with cancer is genetic. Okay? Genetic cancer is extremely rare. All right? Mainstream is going to tell you that cancer is like you inherited and all this stuff. And I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about when I click this next article that is true and then it misleads you. This is what happens a lot, specifically with health, right? Specifically with your doctors. Your doctors lie to you a lot. Okay, there's good doctors out there. It's not like throwing shade on everybody, but a lot of doctors lie because they're trying to get money. So again, the main thing is about the uncontrolled cell growth, right? So these abnormal cells can form tumors that invade surrounding tissues and organs, disrupting their normal functions. Okay. So again, cancer can also spread, and the more it spreads, the more it gets into other tissues and organs and things like that, and that's not what you want. As it progresses, organ failure is the common cause of death. Okay? As cancer progresses, it can invade critical organs, liver, lungs, brain, etc. When these organs fail to function properly, it can lead to life-threatening complications. Right? So, for example, lung cancer can obstruct airways, leading to respiratory failure. I really wish it would not do that. That's annoying, popping that up like that. Leading to respiratory failure, while liver cancer can disrupt the organ's ability to filter toxins from the blood, etc. If you get cancer around your heart, it can affect the ability for your heart to pump. People say, I've never heard of heart cancer. It doesn't matter. Cancer can be anywhere. So that's the main thing. I'm not going to get into too much of this. But the main thing is the cells grow too much. They spread around and go invade all kind of organs and tissues. And eventually it makes your organs fail. So like it says here, how does cancer start, right? And again, the term cancer refers to a group of conditions where bodily cells divide and grow uncontrollably. Okay? Uncontrollably. So it's all about, the way I teach this to my students when I explain cancer is that your cells like to receive information. Okay? So when you go to sleep, that's information that you're giving your cells that they have a chance to recharge and rebuild and repair when you're asleep. When you're active all the time, your cells got to do a lot of work. You know, they got to, when you go to sleep, hey, it's our time. And actually, depending on the type of cell, they may be even more busy during sleep. But the point is, sleep is a signal. Giving your body rest is a signal for your cells to do what they need to do, right? When you exercise, okay, that's a signal to tell your cells, hey, we want to flush out toxins. We want to create endorphins. We want to feel good. We want to burn. We want to reduce body fat. We want to build muscle. You know, you're telling your cells to do that, right? We want to improve our heart efficiency. You're telling your cells to do that. You know, when you stay hydrated, right? When you reduce your stress, when you take in deep breaths, okay? When you eat proper nutrition, these are all things that give your cells information, and your cells want the right information so that they can perform properly. The problem is if you feed your cells the wrong information, then they may turn cancerous. Okay? So many of this is the same thing. Like I said, cancer kills. So the main way cancer kills, that's the whole point of this article. Sometimes I get off the point too much. The whole point of this article is to talk about the fact that cancer kills by growing into key organs. Okay, you got to imagine this stuff being surrounding your kidneys or something. Okay? You got to imagine, I wonder if I can find a picture. You know what? I want to see if I can find a picture real quick. Let's see. Let's see. Real picture of cancer. Now, see these be... Ooh, let's see what we can find. I love the... See if we can find a real picture. I mean, you can kind of see it here. You can kind of see it here. Where we see the metastatic lung cancer right here. And you can kind of see this big blemish. All right, right in here. I mean, imagine having this blemish, this huge blemish in your lungs. It's not supposed to be there. All right, lung. I wonder why lung is so common on here. Because, you know, one of the things... Oof, look at this one. Look at this. Now this looks like a liver. Yeah, it's a liver. Now you're not supposed to have all of these. Look at the. You're not supposed to have all this extra discoloration. So again, imagine and look. You're not supposed to have all this extra, and it's eaten up. Look at this. So again, imagine this being your liver. Your liver is supposed to be a different color than this. Um, let's see. See if we can find one more. I got the liver again. A lot of these pictures are just animations. I like to try to find the real. Yeah, I can't really find too many. But I think those are two good ones. We got the x-ray showing the big tumor, right? Um, yeah, I think we'll stick it there. But if we go back, to the image we were looking at a second ago, again, imagine this stuff growing on your heart, your lungs, your kidneys, your brain, or something like that. All right. So again, that's what we're talking about. Unusual new cell growth, formation, and division. Cells die, yada yada yada. Cancer disrupts. So again, the main thing we're talking about here, the main lesson to take away is that when this stuff gets into your organs, when it gets into your nerves, when it gets into your blood vessels, now they're not going to work properly. This causes these organs to shut down. All right. When cancer gets into your nervous system, it doesn't allow your nerves and communications to function properly. When it gets into your blood, now you're circulating cancerous tissue, cancerous cells through your bloodstream where it can go and lodge anywhere in the body. Okay, so it's going to mess up their function. And that's the primary way. That's the end of the conversation. That's the primary way that cancer will kill you. Okay. Another common thing that happens is many people die from the treatment, all that chemotherapy and radiation, all that stuff. That stuff will destroy your immune system, right? And I'm sure they sign a waiver that says, "Hey, I know I might die. I wonder if I can find a cancer treatment waiver. Like, where's a cancer treatment waiver? I wonder if that even exists. Ooh, what is this? I'm sure, and I'm gonna find this one day. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to find this, so I'm not gonna deal with it right now. But it's like all the paperwork when you're in the hospital where you get ready to do surgery or something like that. It's like, hey, you might die. It's the same. They're always gonna protect themselves with that. But so how cancer starts, real quick. We kind of hadn't really touched on that too much. We kind of got into it a little bit. But here's where you get good information, right? And then now you start getting bad information. It says cancer is a genetic condition. All right, we got a problem now because anybody can get cancer. Okay? Doesn't matter if nobody in your family is going back to, you can go back to the beginning of time. If nobody ever got cancer, that doesn't mean you can't get cancer, right? And then it says because it develops due to changes in cellular genes that control cell function, especially how they grow and divide. Yeah, that's kind of correct, but there's some nuances, right? A person can inherit these genetic changes from their parents. These changes may also develop due to genetic errors that occur when cells divide or environmental exposure to toxins damage. So they're talking, this is true. Environmental exposure to toxins, yes. Now, even if you inherit genetic changes from your parents, you still have to give them the right information. So again, this comes with your lifestyle, the stress management, the sleep, the eating, all those things give signals to your cells to behave a certain way. You tell them to behave healthy or you tell them to behave non-healthy. So what I wanted to do real quick, and we're going to wrap up on this, is I typed this in, IGF-1 in cancer, right? So insulin-like growth factor is a hormone, right? That's linked to an increased risk of several types of cancer, including breast, colorectal, thyroid, etc., primarily due to its role in promoting what? Growth. Cell growth. We talked about that already, okay? Now, again, reject non-essential. Get out of here. Study of almost 400,000 confirms that higher blood levels of IGF-1 are a risk factor for several types of cancer. You can see where this information is coming from. Oxford Health. I'm not making this up. It's not coming from me. So again, we're talking about this hormone is associated with several types of cancer. Okay, and they say new study, but this is not new really. This is a study they did that was new to them, but the information is old. Okay, it's not necessarily new. All right, so here we go. Does dairy boost IGF-1? Well, dairy products, particularly milk, can increase IGF-1 levels in the body. So now we're saying if you consume dairy products, as it says here, we're on Science Direct now, just so we can get off of here. We have a peer-reviewed journal, right? Associations of circulating insulin-like growth factor 1, IGF-1, with intake of dietary proteins and other macronutrients. So as it says here, circulating insulin is associated with risk of several cancers. Dietary protein intake, particularly dairy protein, may increase circulating IGF-1. So what does this say? Well, this basically says that IGF-1 increases your risk for cancer, and we know dairy protein increases IGF-1. So it's not about the genetics. It's about the lifestyle primarily that's going to give you issues with cancer, right? So again, we're already done with that. We already did what is cancer, okay? So we're done, y'all. We're done. So everybody should know this looks pretty juicy right here. Looks like a animated image again. But again, we go back to this image. We're going to end it here. When these things get too big and too large and they don't die, they keep growing. Cancer. It's a problem. When they invade your organs, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when it's going to kill you. So again, avoid certain things and you avoid cancer. All right, so it's Thursday night. I'm about to get out of here. No questions. If you watch this video and you say, hey, I got a question, drop it in the comment box. We're here every Thursday. I missed last Thursday, but normally here every Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Time here. So follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and X at Fitness Charles, and then also subscribe here to the channel. And I did do a whole video. On where is it? Just saw it a second ago. I did do a whole video on. Well, I'm pretty sure I did. I just saw it. Somewhere on here, there's a video that I did that's totally about cancer, and it basically breaks down what is cancer in a little bit more detail than this one. I don't know why I can't find it, even though I just saw it recently, but it's on here somewhere. But okay, we're gonna wrap up. I'll be back here next Thursday. As always, be happy, be healthy, be fit forever, and I'll catch y'all next time.